up, and kids are spending 5 hours staring at a screen and they're getting headaches. And it's like, no. What is the feeling of, and you hinted at this, walking through your life and not just living your life, which is already hell and impossible, but taking inventory of your life, being a viewer to your own life, living an experience, and at the same time hovering behind yourself and watching yourself live that experience, being nostalgic for moments that haven't happened yet, planning your future to look back on it. Those are really weird, strange, disassociative things that are, I think, new because of the specific structure of social media and the way it sort of disassociates ourself from ourself.
And not only was he just upset at this overstimulating, hyper-connected world that big tech companies have created, he went to the Google headquarters and confronted them directly.
I don't know, I just don't think we're totally processing. I think we're maybe processing on our own internally, but are we processing it as a group? What this thing means, what it's doing to kids, how it changes them, how significant this stuff is. You know, you want to say the word on television, you got to go to Congress. You know, you want to change the neurochemistry of an entire generation, you got to be 5 people in a room putting your hands up in Silicon Valley. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's really strange. Yeah. You know, you put a 50mm lens on a camera on a phone, and all of a sudden kids can take compressed images that are beautiful portraits of themselves. Is that good? Should we allow that? Does everything need to be streamlined? Right. We can talk to 5 people. Now we can talk to 500. We can talk to 30. Do we need to actualize our social lives in the same way we're actualizing our clean energy and our travel? I don't know. You know, I just worry we're going to look back on this like we looked back on smoking.
Nightbot.
Why are we all doing this?
Welcome to my channel.
My doctor smoked will be my
Stream Elements.
You know what I mean?
No, welcome to my channel.
So, yeah, the conversation is changing so rapidly. You know, and by the time kids get old enough to become the adults that can then change things, the paradigm has shifted beyond anything they know. You know, it's really weird. Now we're going way off the rails, but I'm interested in it because you guys are all obviously smart, young, engaged people, and it's
Neša?
Ne, vas dvojica.
Pa Neša je kući, ja sam na poslu.
Tako.
Tako da je sve jasno.
Ali Neša nije tu.
Otišao do prodavnice i kupi nešto njegovima. Brate, ja od običaj vode podrignjujem i posle idem što reći. Oće to kad sam pojao pola kila suvog vrata i pola kila leba. Za prvi doručak. O, još malo pa će drugi doručak.
Kako ovdje drugi doručak?
Pa treći doručak, pa meze, pa onda ručak.
Ti se zajebavaš. Ili si dizač tegova, ili strongman.
Ne, nego mi je mnogo brz metabolizam.
Ne znam koliko misliš da ti je brz, ali se uspori vremenom.
Pretjerano brz.
Ako nisi
jedem
zna.
kao 3 odrasle osobe, a uopšte se ne gojim.
To je za sad.
I za navik.
Ne znam ja. Osim ako ne misliš da živiš kao onaj Highlander.
Ko je taj?
Gorštak.
A.
Ne znaš ko je Highlander? Conor McLeod iz klana McLeodovih.
Čekaj, da živim kao on u kom fazonu, ne razumijem, ono na planini šta?
Pa da, ne na planini, nego ono, znaš, da čitao života samo, ono, jebeš mlade žene, da se mačuješ sa drugim ljudima.
Nisam ja te sreće. Mislim da to mačovanje zvuči nekako gej, ali... Ja sam vidio neki meme na Instagramu vezano za Lord of the Rings. To jest, bilo je kao 2 pisoara, jedan do drugi onako ukršteno i kaže ono dole onaj Theodor kaže ovom Aragornu.
Da.
Kaže kao, and you shall have my... Ne, ovaj Aragorn kaže Theodenu, kao, and you shall have my sword. I onda bi rekao gej, i sad kada je što mačovanje, bukvalno gej. Okej. Gorštaci. Evo, ne mogu čuti više dosta. Treba dođe nešto da mu prenesem novu ideju. To još nije nova, nego sad mi je došla na pamet, a od prije. Mi treba da izbacimo sve ove države iz Europske unije, da kažemo mi smo Europska unija, mi smo Evropa. Ja sam teo. Vidio sam neki tablet od Xiaomi-a i to boga mi baš dobar. Neki Xiaomi Pad SE, on je oko 20.000 dinara. A ima jedan koji je jedno 15.000 skuplji i dosta bolji. Ima Snapdragon 700, ne znam koji 700 nešto uglavnom. 8 GB rama, 12 inča.
To je laptop.
Nije ono, naravno. A?
Laptop.
Tablet bre. A gdje ja kad bi kupovao laptop, nema da se kupi dobar ispod 100-ak, 120.000, 130. Meni to treba više za filmove, nešto pročitam i tako to YouTube i to je to. 12 inča, aluminijumsko kućište, ivice, RAM, sve ono.
To onaj kao sa Temo, jeli?
Nije, kod nas, Xiaomi.
To sam mogu i dočekujem.
Sad, da sam uzeo ovaj što je dosta jeftiniji. On ima 90 Hz display i 11 inča. I 600 nešto procesor, ovaj Snapdragon. A ovaj ima 7. generacije Snapdragon. Za 1 inč je veći, ima 120 Hz display i baterija mu je dosta jača. Baterija mu traje 14 sati neprestano gledanje filmova ili na YouTube-u sa najjačim osvjetljenjem. 14 sati. A puni se za 2 sata na brzo punjenje od 0 do 100. Treba mu 2 sata. 10.000 mAh. Ima 4 zvučnika, ono valjda. Sa 4 strane skoro. Ja sam pre tamo 2012 ili 2013 kupio neki tablet 7 inča Asus Memo Pad HD7, to je stvarno bio tad ono budget tablet, ali je bio super. Sutra je nedelja dobro, ponedjeljak noć, ne, nedelja sam slobodan, ponedjeljak sam slobodan, ja sam ponedjeljak slobodan, nice.
Jedan moj drugar, poznanik, ko kažem drugar, odmah će doći da mi traži uslugu neku. On je tako igrao basket, znao sam ja, znao je da pojede pola pršute za dan.
Dobro.
Bio je hiperaktivan, stalno se kretao. Sad ima oko 32-3 godine, tako.
Dobro.
Sad ima 2 metra u njega, kao što je i pre bilo, jeli? I 200 kila. Kao da ga je neko napumpao sa pumpom, znaš, za biciklo. Sve to što si ti rekao, brz metabolizam, jeste, ima brz metabolizam.
Do određenih godina.
Do određenih godina imaš brz metabolizam i onda kad vidiš da počinješ da imaš iste navike, kao što si ti to rekao, tako da, mislim, radiš šta hoćeš, ali sad se reprobušiš kašiku kad bude trebalo. Mislim, ili nemoj, jebi ga, ako možeš da se kaže da podržiš takav...
Dokle god je dužina kite ista, konstantna,
ili nađi Barry Allena i uzmi od
This
njega
comic-
onaj, kako se zove, Speed Force.
Ne, dokle god dužina kite ostaje ista, nema potrebe da se brinem. Kad krene se smanjuje, onda treba da se brinem.
Dobro.
Što bi rekao jedan kolega.
Ako ne možeš da pristupiš cilju, da ti je kao seksi debelih ljudi, znaš.
Kako, brate, kako?
Pa kako legneš na leđa, pretpostavljam to.
A kako, brate?
A ima neke poze, ali to mi je ogavno.
Fuj.
Bolje da ne znaš.
3 stomaka, brate, fuj. Sve ti nisam ga ljipa, Ovo radi fore kaže fuj,
Da.
Jebika. Ne, otišao da reketira ljude po selu. Zato ga nema u klubu. Živote moji. Sad dođu. Ja sam brz, ili ima nešto na Steamu da vredi da se uzme?
Ako već nisi uzeo prethodnih 2-3 godine, teško.
Šta bre? Ako nisam, šta izvini, nisam razumeo.
Ako već nisi pazario zadnje 2-3 godine.
A jesam, znači...
Plafon dobiješ za ove igre što možda hoćeš da uzmeš nove, 10-20%.
A Borderlands uvijek bude. Borderlands bude uvijek, to mi ne zanima.
Dobro, to ni ne računaj.
To ne računaj.
Osim ako nećeš da igraš Borderlands 2, onda okej.
Ne znam koji sam bišao Borderlands igrao, prelazio sa stekim co-op.
Pa svaki može da se igra co-op, ali po meni ne bi je dvojka. To je moje mišljenje. A trojku sam...
Stellaris neka igra. What the fuck? Staro od 2016 nešto u svemiru. Batman 2 evra, ideš u kurac, Arkham Origin, to je četvrti, da tako? Arkham Asylum, pa onda Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Forest, Need for Speed, Warhammer, Vermintide, Exodus Metro, brate, 3 evra jeben igra Metro Exodus, koliko dobro igra, 3 evra. Ja sam kupio tu igru, kad je izašlo na edition, bio je valjda 70 nešto evra, ja sam dužio da za 17 ili 20. South Park mora igram kad dođem kući da stick of shoot. To sam kupio, to nisam igrao. To sam sigurno što da preksnoć kad sam šušao. Da li uzem Batmana jebem sve lupe. Majak. Survive, the twist, renew, a twisted path to renew, neki cowboy, šta je ovo? Extraction shooter western.
Piše ti game made in Ukraine.
Twisted path to renew, ko pravi?
Ukrajinci.
Šta je ovo, koji engine?
Navodno kao direktan kompetitor ovome Gun Shotgunu, ali nije. Nije mnogo mu fali. koliko god ja Kenja da je Hunter završen
Vidim da
da
je
igram.
na viškoj strani.
Nije, mnogo mu fali.
Dakle, taj je patira. Ovaj Valheim to neću da igram. Batman Arkham Knight. Kad će Crysisu da padne cijena? Kingdom Come Deliverance. Last of Us, Last of Us, svaki su kupio za.
Gdje se vratimo?
Evo ga Stalker na popustu. Da je šta trebalo.
To nije popust. To je samo normalna cena. Normalna cena je bila pre 40 do 60 evra.
Kupi ću kad bude 25 maksimum.
Pa upola cene vredi.
Još mislim loše po našem moćne bave, dvojka Ragnarok. Ja sam članik Hero Put. Upravo si što kažeš ono, ništa posebno nema, ne se vidim sad, na sve da je dobro. Čekaj, koja je priča Cyberpunku o igri? Sve tu pojela kao... Te zadnje misli, ono, šta radi, sve pojenta igre. Dobro priprema.
U Cyberpunku?
Da.
Pa... Nije toliko priča interesantna, mislim priča kao priča postoji.
Nego i taj cijel svijet što se napravio.
Jeste, cijel svijet interesantno.
Aha.
Znaš, nije priča ništa posebno kao igre ko igre, jebem.
Ja preko Max Payne brojko na to dobro. To je Max Payne brojko mnogo dobro.
Već sam bio na dokujima.
Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam.
Testi emoci šta se radi.
Jesi mu udario rekla?
Što ima.
Već izraketirao te starci.
Nešto da bije rekla to selo.
Šta deliš ovo Ilija? Kakvi su ovo kanti deliš?
Redeemuj ga, dobiješ 1000 event poena.
Ovo da panem igre, a?
Uđeš u igra, odeš u opciju redeem i redeemuješ 1000 event poena. Duela.
Hvala.
Bukvalno džabe. To su oni delili na mail. Kao svi su dobili isti taj kod na mail.
Ne da ih sam ja ne znam. Šta ti mučiš?
Život.
Treba ti. Problem.
Jesi ono ti? Ti iz Redika. Jesi ono ti što piše tamo? Sebi na US West South.
Kod?
Jesi pročito? Što sam stavio za Reddit?
Ne, što?
Možda pogledam.
Jedno pitanje, ono oznaka je kao ono što je
Kako se zove profil na Redditu? Ne šamanijak ili kako? Kako?
Ono što je oni dano radimo. A akcije tebe u 90 uju.
Mali linka tome fan šodam Reddit postu ili moram da ga nađem?
Ima. Kažu se ti ovdje da je Discordu. Iza Novog Milana.
To mi pomaže, pošto ne vidim nijedan Milano
A to
post.
se ti blokirali. Gdje su bacuje se na ovaj kod jebote, bili na sajtu ili gdje?
U igrama. Moraš da odeš tamo u opcije, imaš sve ti to skriveno.
Socijalni je. Moj.
Ima opcije za redeem.
Znači,
Ma, bože, sačuvaj.
Katastrofa. Gdje su ga zabili čak, jebote. Ma svima isti kod, a? Jebo ih ovaj kozolaški meni. Sve igre na dvoje konzole misli samo nisu.
Zapsi svaki iluzija. Gledam neki asset, da li da uzmem neki malo bolji ili neki ne malo bolji.
Kad se ovo desilo? Ja ne nosim taj samostrel nikad. I ovo je starter. Ona ti igra stalno sa Hermitom.
Ko je Hermit?
Grandfather Hermit.
Ko je ta?
Kuca ja starte na...
Neka
A,
naša
mislim
ili-
da je priča nekim hrvatskim jakim akcentom, ali moguće da je Srbije, vrlo lako. Možda iz Vojvodine, negdje iz Subotice, ko zna. Nevjerojatno iz Subotice, ako ja išto znam.
Subotica si.
Znam možda Kesić. Ona ženska što igra sa Hermitom, a starte. A igra svako malo s njim. Ona isto čini mi se da je digital artist. Ona crta onaj arti, one ikonice i čudo.
Ovaj Carry On nije nešto. Malo mi je proizvesen film. Ne znam, nekako kao već viđeno. Secret Level.
Sam toga ona stvarno igra iz Evrope, da. Ali... Ne vjerujem da je njena latencija toliko loša. Njenu odbranu. To je bi rekao da su Crytekov serveri kurčine. Pošto je tu prošlo 2-3 sekunde dok je taj lik dobio strelu i dok je igra rekla ok, mrtav si. Crytekov serveri su kurac bukvalno.
Snake Ball.
everyone's having them all the time privately, but it's very hard to have it in public, because maybe it's slightly critical of the exact medium that the conversations are being had on. And probably the mediums have a vested interest for these conversations not to take place, he says as the audio feed cuts out.
Bo had clearly developed a great disdain for our over-reliance on smartphones and social media, but he wasn't blaming humans for getting addicted. That's what they were designed to do.
They're coming for every second of your life. That's what these companies are coming to. This company as well. And it's not because anyone is bad. It's not because anyone in this company has evil plans or is trying to do this. They're not even doing it consciously. It's because these companies like Twitter and YouTube and Instagram and everything, they went public and they went to shareholders. So they have to grow. Their entire models are based off of growth. They cannot stay stagnant. Twitter grossed $4 or $5 billion last year. It is in the red. It is unprofitable. It has to get more of you. That could be the ceiling for a place like this. YouTube, the ceiling could be 3 hours of engagement. No matter how nice it's trying to be, it is all that they're trying to get more engagement from you. We used to colonize land. That was the thing you could expand into, and that's where money was to be made. We colonized the entire earth. There was no other place for the businesses and capitalism to expand into, and then they realized human attention. They are now trying to colonize every minute of your life. That is what these people are trying to do. Every single free moment you have is a moment you could be looking at your phone, and they could be gathering information to target ads.
Now, this may be much harder for children to grapple, but for adults, you can fight this. You just have to consciously choose where you are spending your time online and constantly reevaluate what you are watching and why you are watching it. Now, I personally benefit from this exact system. I quite literally need you to watch longer as it improves my livelihood. But I don't really know how much of you are watching this intently. Some of you are driving right now, or cooking dinner, or just laying down and you have me on in the background, but now I got your attention, so hey. How you doing? So while I do appreciate you being here and spending your time on something I and my team created, I just hope that it was at least by choice and that you weren't tricked or hypnotized and stuck in some sort of content wormhole. Anyways, Burnham made it apparent that he was more interested in writing, directing, and acting than live comedy. I stepped away from stand-up after Make Happy, Burnham told Rolling Stone. I just felt like I did what I wanted. I had no more ideas in that space and I felt like I'd sort of exhausted myself as a subject. Burnham did not perform live stand-up for 5 years, and instead he used that time to work on his struggles with mental health and various other creative projects. And in January of 2020, he finally felt like he got a grasp on his mental health. He felt better and wanted to pursue comedy on stage again. And just as he was preparing to come back, the entire world shut down as a result of the 2020 COVID pandemic.
Veče meč. Šta ima? Redeem kod za 1000 event coina. Ja sam mislio, pa Krajtik je dao svima. Svi mogu da ga redeemuju jednom. Osim ako ne nađe još neki kod. Nenade. Notira se. U opcijama. U jednom od onih 20 pod menija. Ako me pitaš tačno gdje, radije bih radio sklekove nego to ti objasnio. Unutar same igre imaš redeem menu. To je bilo negdje pre lako, sad više nije baš tako lako. Delta Force. Jel na to misliš? Pretpostavljam da si u pravu. Pretpostavljam da si u pravu. Dobro, šta s njom?
Samo virtual reality.
Kupiš telefon, dobar. imaš one telefone koji se kupiš vizir za njih i koristiš ga kao display. Jesi našao ti taj redin? No, ja sad ne bi znao da ponovim. To sam radio pre 15 minuta, ali znam gdje je tačno tamo u opcijama da ti je ono game, video i to. I onda moraš da ga iskopaš u trećem podmenu. To bi što bilo lako. A jedno 10 zombija ovdje bilo. Ne vjerujem.
Alo.
Halo!
Evo.
Mister Nenadovik.
Kaj?
Ma ne, oni loši akcenti iz onih hollywoodskih filmova, da oni misle da...
Ja mogu da prevedu.
Ne, nego Sloveni pričaju nekim ogavnim ruskim karikaturama.
Out that bad boy. Scheiße! Au.
Znači, on je pametan čovjek. 7 points. Šta je ovo?
Kod je isti da se mogu poziciju.
Ja sam mislio da se nije kretiv zajedno pa poslao više kodova.
Isti.
Daj odmah bre da palim igru bre. Samo što nemam betu pas.
Ne,
A ne znam da li možda dobiješ ništa ako nemaš našnad.
može.
Dobiješ, ali posle moraš da kupiš da bi dobio sve.
Ti imaš one nagade koje su kao besplatne, koje mora platiti. Možda sebe mi
Filmokantano, pa će to se nešto da se ne dobije, znaš.
Idi šetaj kućence na ovaj kijamet.
Ovaj pomet. Kijamet. Kijamet, dame. Ko bre viče, vrate, pinos me čovjek, vrate, kaže ne čuješ se, ništa sad kao viče. Stavlja ovaj kod, jeli?
Odeš u opcije tamo.
Jeste ga ga.
Kroz desno na mor.
Kroz desno klikniš na onaj točkić, pa klikniš na mor.
Thank you.
Mislim, toliko je skriveno da ja ne kapiram šta je point.
Baš je skriveno, baš. Šta si rekao? E pa jebi ga, ne znam što da ti kažem. To sam čuo 30 puta sinoć. Pojačaj me na maksimalno, ništa. Ja ne mogu, ja se sredim nikako na maksimalno.
Ne znam o čemu se tu radi.
Ne znam kako me ostali čuju.
Isto pretpostavljam. Trollerski pobičaj.
Trollerski? Misliš da li se čujem dobro ili loše jebate?
A dobro, to i ovo ti je nekakav opis kako se čuje.
Opis trollera.
Žene, mene se odmorim.
Da se odmoriš. Dobro.
Ajde, čekam te. Nikad nisam mogli nikog posao u surađu s srđu. Gang.
Ubili ste magarca na medvede. Se raspucao.
A jesu se raspištolio.
Okej.
Tu se. Pa vjerojatno nisam ni pričao.
Odvolite kuda.
A je. Šta se radi?
Ništa, rekli, zašto si inače jedan, pa vidio si ko sam otišao. Jutro u 10:05 kažem. Ništa, bukvalno prespavao sam gotovo. Viktor sad slobodan zaprije, da odmori duca, Da ne ide nigde. Gdje si Međo? Šta ima? Kome smaraš sad, brati? Ovo je Milan, moram.
Ja ti stavio kako je para uzeo.
Kako je pare uzeo?
Znači, brat mi je rekao da je sliko je poslije. Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind.
Bam, 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 da.
Come interessa?
Vidi ga kako igra lika. Gledaj si mamicu, pučku, sam puta kolega.
Gdje li si ti sad?
A?
Kud se ulezi?
Vamo neki djeđe. Ovo nešto!
Ja.
To je igre. Majko mila.
Jel su madre, Mila?
Madre pendejo. Andale.
Ti si li pendeho?
Ja.
Ti Kitu, hoćeš?
Ja ti ga mećem iz dana u dan. Te boli guza. A ti meni marš.
Ti meni marš.
Ti se samo jebeš u čmar. I ja bi da probam nešto drugo. Nešto divlje.
Zašto me odbiješ?
Slušaj me, koliko žena. A ti si jedini koji si me uzbudio. Nije ti dosta to. U kurac!
Odakle ta...
Jebaću te, skidaj gaće.
Bobo, smradu.
Odakle mi ideja za tako nešto?
Ne znam. Genijalno.
Jebaću te, skidaj gaće. Odmah, sada, odmah. Ma, brate. Tan, tan, tan. Karate Kid, dude.
Ok. Ovdje vjerojatno Bog šalje znak. Svaki drugi put neka diskonekte sa servera. Sad ću jednu kafu da se napravim. Igram malo Path of Exile, prema što ode na posao. I tako.
Pandemic. While being forced to be alone and locked in his house, Bo had basically nothing else to do than to scroll social media. Being forced to witness the riots, protests, political discourse, celebrities getting canceled, comedians complaining about cancel culture, brain rot, and all the other mind-numbing whirlwind of chaos we all subjected ourselves to during the pandemic. Bo's awakening towards the horrors of social media, big tech, and human psychology, combined with being stuck at home, would be the inspiration for his final Netflix comedy special, Inside. Inside was not very funny, and he sets you up for that by saying in the beginning that he does not really know what this comedy special is supposed to be. Inside was created entirely within a roughly 500 square foot detached apartment in his backyard. This was created during the lockdown to artistically recreate those feelings of loneliness and isolation we all experienced. Bo immediately sets the tone that this special is going to be, yet again, more social commentary, and the themes he explores are pretty much the exact same as all his previous specials, starting off with Healing the World with Comedy, the track that tells the same exact message as his 2013 song, Sad, expressing that comedians often feel or are perceived as heroes for essentially distracting their fans from the horrible atrocities in the world by telling jokes, even though the jokes don't do anything to remedy the problems for the actual victims, but allow you to just feel better about it. Additionally, Bo sings about wanting to help, but also still wanting to be the center of attention, which is critical of the celebrities and really anyone on social media who feels the need to share or post a video of them doing some sort of good deed. The difference between Bo's approach in Inside versus previously is that this song is not just sad. Then Bo busts out Socko Puppet for the song How the World Works. to what you think is going to be some cheesy, corny children's song about sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. The tempo and structure of the instrumental is straight out of the Muppets cartoon.
Zato što bi ljudi skamovali, a budal. Ljudi bi skamovali, bilo bi najprodavanije konzola u Srbiji. Zjevao je.
Conspiracy theorist explaining
Onda
the
bi valjali
terrors
odavde,
of the
razumeš,
world
u
in
ko
an
zna gde.
eerily fun and educational way.
Ajde.
Sacco sings, the simple narrative taught in every history class is demonstrably false and pedagogically classist. Do you know the world is built with blood and genocide and exploitation? The global network of capital essentially functions to separate the worker from the means of production, and the FBI killed Martin Luther King. Private property is inherently theft, and neoliberal fascists are destroying the left, and every politician, every cop on the street protects the interests of the pedophilic corporate elite. However, this is one of the very few upbeat and slightly funny moments. From here, it continues to get darker and sadder. The rest of the special definitely has a lot of anti-capitalism, anti-monopoly, anti-Silicon Valley rhetoric, but it's mostly packed with existential angst, melodramatic insights on his life as an entertainer, which double as metaphors for your life as an entertainer. That is, if you use social media and document any part of your life for your audience, I mean, friends and family. This theme is perfectly actualized in the ballad All Eyes on Me. However, the high point of the special, which I'm imagining should have been the original outro as it landed exactly on the 1 hour mark, is the song Welcome to the Internet. With this video currently sitting at a staggering 147 million views on YouTube, this is easily Bo Burnham's opus. The instrumental has this bouncy and fun Dr. Seuss nature to it, and Bo's delivery and round glasses give off the same slightly dark and uncanny energy that Wonka does. He takes the role of this omniscient voice of the internet, inviting you into an endless source of entertainment, information, and connection, while also reminding you about the harmful content, misinformation, and degeneracy. The chorus, "Can I interest you in everything all of the time? Apathy's a tragedy and boredom's a crime," highlights how the internet is always there to trap you in an endless cycle of consumption because today's humans cannot handle a moment of understimulation or boredom.
Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur?
He then goes on to mention that life was not always like this, and you think he's going to pivot to a moment where this was all a big accident and life was so much better before the internet, only for him to explain that getting people addicted to this social hellscape was all a part of some evil corporate plan. Mommy let you use her iPad, you were barely 2, and it did all of the things we designed it to do. Now look at you. It was always the plan to put the world in your hand. Then the song shifts from playful to sinister, with Bo's maniacal, evil laugh that makes the audience realize how trapped they are, and how the elites who run this world are laughing at the endless ocean of money they are pouring in at the expense of human civilization. This track is by far the best overall representation of Bo Burnham's art. It's funny, it's got amazing songwriting and creative wordplay, it's got great singing, it's eerie and slightly uncomfortable, it's thought-provoking and self-aware, and also an incredibly accurate summary of our civilization. Even Bo knows that he just peaked, so much so that he might even want to disappear. The very last song is the track Goodbye, where Bo expresses how badly he wants to just stay inside, how he wants to stop being a jester, stop being another cog in the entertainment wheel of distracting the world from real problems and thwarting human evolution. But ultimately, he knows that one day his relevance will decline, or he will be financially drained, or simply needing the approval of others, resulting in him going back to the stage and repeating this same cycle he has been stuck in for 14 years. I swear to God that all I've ever wanted was a little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. I'm finished playing and I'm staying inside. Bo Burnham wanted a little bit of everything all of the time. He wanted to be a theatrical performer. He wanted to be a comedian. He wanted to be a musician
Dobro,
and
to
a
je
songwriter. He wanted to be
kapsulica, kako?
introspective and thought-provoking, but he wanted to be crass and silly. He
Slušaj,
wanted to be quirky and cute.
burek
He wanted
nije
to be
burek.
tall and handsome. He wanted
Burek
to fit
je
in with
pita s
ease
mesom.
and jocks, but once he
Ako
got
kažeš
involved,
burek
he
i
no
misliš na
longer
pitu
wanted
sa
it, but
sirom,
he needed it
to je
because
sirnica,
everyone's gotta
znaš.
make money, and trying to balance
Ne
all
mogu
of
da mi
this
se
without going
napuše svi koji
insane is next
kažu
to impossible,
sirnica.
which is likely why his
Burek
mental
je
health
sa
has
sirom.
deteriorated to the point where he has disappeared off
A idi u
internet
Bosnu
and
pa
nowhere
jedi
to be
burek sa
found,
mesom.
clearing all of the content from his social medias and replacing them with an ocean
To
that
zavisi u koju
presented himself
pekaru
being
uđeš kod
lost at
nas,
sea, but
u Vojvodini,
hopefully at
znaš.
peace.
Neko će jat
Or
burek
maybe
sa
he's
sirom,
just
onda
this
neko će ga
fraud who puts
filozofira.
on this fake
A odmah znaš
melodramatic
da je
persona
Bosanac
while
ako počne
brings in
neki
millions of
filozofira.
dollars, just like all of
Sirnica,
the other
da,
Hollywood
sirnica.
phonies he claims to hate so much. I don't know.
Ja sam kupio neku novu, pa ću da isprobam tako, ja volim da isprobavam ovo. Razne vrste da.
People fucking hate this movie now. I'm actually so curious to see what's going to happen. After everything that's happened, you'd think it'd be impossible for the upcoming Snow White film to fall any further. But somehow, Disney found a way. And with the recent release of the official trailer, the Snow White disasters got even worse. Now, Snow White has been played up as one of Disney's biggest projects. And as such, you think they go above and beyond with the marketing. However, as we all know, it's been an absolute train wreck. Well, they can't market it because that actress keeps talking shit and causing trouble for them. Like, can you imagine having to be the person that's in charge of employing her and dealing with her? Holy fuck, that must be annoying. You've got basically a person that has a bomb attached to them, and they keep trying to set, light the fucking fuse.
And your mother is with me
Yeah, she's
too.
not fired. I know. She deleted so much profit. Yes, she did. I think it was a huge, huge mistake. And I think that studios are going to start realizing that, like, bringing on people that want to, like, push their, like, fringe identity politics, or, like, really any politics, and, like, use the movie as a platform to do that. I think that's just going to become less popular in a general sense. Because I think studios don't want to take that risk. Why would they want to take that risk? Ever since the main co-stars trashing the original characters, and all during this build, and I gotta say also, ever since the main co-stars, like, I think she's fucking hot. I do. I think she's hot. So like this whole idea that like she's ugly or she shouldn't play Snow White, like I can see it from like an ethnic perspective. They wanted like a European to play it, sure, but I think that she's hot. I'm not ready. Fuck off. Everybody would swipe right. Like, shut up, stop. Trashing the original characters, and all during this build-up, audiences barely got a peek at the official trailer. It was all just these teasers that never really amounted to anything. Most were expecting Disney to publish the official Snow White trailer alongside the release of it, as not only would it be a smart marketing move, but it made the most sense. And while that's exactly what Disney did, their strategy was unconventional. The trailer and official poster were only available in a few theaters. For just over a week, promotions didn't go any further. In Brazil? No one could find the official new trailer anywhere. It took someone leaking a recording of it before the rest of the internet could even get a glimpse. But
Why?
still, not even the legal Disney to post the trailer on its official account.
Like this shit was like, dude, The Lion King, like that's National Geographic. That's not Simba. That's not Mufasa. That's National Geographic. What the fuck?
Wow.
Who thought this was a good idea?
It was almost like the studio was desperate to keep
So
their trailer
corny,
out of the
yes.
public eye. Like they were trying to avoid ridicule for as long as possible.
were.
Especially seeing how much of a disaster it had been already. Even
So
Disney
like
had
their mindset, I bet, is that the more time that people have to complain, the more people will be made aware of the complaining. So their idea is that we don't market it at all, we just release it, and then hopefully we can capitalize on people being uninformed and sell it to them.
I've nowhere to keep that.
had to face the music at some point. And on the 3rd of December, they finally posted the official trailer to YouTube. And the world would quickly let the studio know exactly what they thought of this. Now at the time of making this video,
They should. Oh my god. That is terrible. This is worse than Concord. Oh my god. What do you make of the dwarves being AI and not actual actors with dwarfism? I think that the idea, so I think that both points of view are valid.
I think that not wanting to be hired because of your physical deformity is totally valid, and also the viewpoint of having a niche because of your physical deformity is valid as well. I feel like both viewpoints are valid, and the only thing that's invalid is when you try to push your viewpoint and you try to make other people behave the way that you want them to behave. So like if you're an actor with dwarfism that doesn't want to be portrayed that way, then just don't seek out roles that portray you that way. It's that easy.
If you find a pint out there,
yeah, that's the way I see it. It's a genetic defect, not really a deformity. We specifics, sure. Like I don't know the medical distinction, but I'm just saying like anything that's like that. Sure, that's my viewpoint on it. But yeah, wow, great. I don't think I've seen anything that's this bad in a long time. That's insane. It
currently has around 660,000 more dislikes than likes, and that number is still massively climbing. But remarkably, one of the only redeeming things about this entire fiasco is that Disney actually left the comments on the trailer. And it's
actually so funny because, wait, this comment, keep this in mind, this comment got more likes. It almost got twice as many likes as the video itself.
What the fuck?
That's nuts.
Almost more entertaining than anything Disney's put out recently. Some wonderful gems included. At this point, the monetization of the video is going to earn Disney more revenue than the movie itself. And they finally did it. They made a movie nobody is going to pirate.
Disney solved pirating by making movies so bad nobody will even seed them. I guess, you know, like, okay.
Those who haven't seen the trailer may wonder if it's really as bad as the comments are making out to be.
Yeah.
And we can say with certainty that it may be even worse. The trailer makes Snow White feel like an unholy amalgamation of all the worst aspects of modern Disney. The bad CGI.
I think there's like another component of this that people are mad about too, is that the woman who plays Maleficent was like from Israel or something like that. And I think obviously like people are mad about that because, you know, that's just, you know, what's popular. Gal Gadot's hot. Yeah, that's her name. She's a Zionist. I don't know whether she's a Zionist or not. I mean, I haven't seen her talk about it or anything like that. But I think that that's also another component.
The oversaturated colors, the preachy woke actors, the character assassinations to tell a more modern story, because apparently old fairy tales can't teach valuable lessons anymore, and all of this has been rolled into one massive controversial mess. It seems like the trailer's trying to tell two stories, the original Disney tale and its modernized counterparts. As a result, it all just feels very disconnected. Disney's designed the film to look like the original movie and included moments from it, but there's no room for any of it in their modern retelling.
I think that's the reason why it's cringe. I think that they could have retold it and made it good, but the reason why they're not going to be able to is that they are trying to go in this middle ground where they're retelling a story that a lot of people have an attachment to, so they want to make sure that they adhere to a lot of expectations, but not too many expectations, but not too little expectations. So they're like trying to thread this needle in a very, very narrow path, and I don't think that they nailed it. I think that it's better to either try to make it one for one, like what, for example, who directed? It was Frank Miller, I think, directed Sin City, and maybe he was the one that did the comics. I forgot exactly, but anyway, like Sin City is a one for one with the comics, or you can totally diverge, like not a total divergence, but like to a degree, like The Boys. Right, or like to an extent.
O tome kako je Disney snimio Snežanu.
So you can do both of them and it's fine. But when you try to go in the middle, I think that's the problem. Watchmen, I don't know anything about the Watchmen. I can't say.
It leaves you wondering how they plan to fit the old hag tricking Snow White into eating the apple and Snow White bravely confronting the Queen in the same story. The one doesn't work with the other, unless of course they're hoping nostalgia would draw crowds and plan to swap them once they're in their seats. It just seems like nothing about any of this makes any sense. And this is all made worse by the fact that they use horrendous CGI. It feels like Disney took a scalpel to the original movie, but rather than carefully carving it into something new, it hacked away at this.
I don't think that they had all dwarves playing the roles. I don't think it would have been that much better. I don't think I don't know. Like it's just I don't feel like it would have made any difference.
Abandoned. Every bit of animation feels oversaturated, artificial, and just lifeless. While the creatures move around and pull expressions similar to their 2D counterparts, there's just no life to them. None of the magic that Walt Disney originally thought of. They're essentially just glorified.
See, this is the reason why I think that some anime should stay anime. It's because when you bring the fantastical nature of like animation to real life, you lose a lot. And like you do have, there's like maybe 2 or 3 guys that can become anime. Obviously Jim Carrey, and I'm sure there's a couple of other people. But besides that, no, you can't do it.
Plushies. And the dwarves are even worse. Knowing the whole scandal about the dwarves to begin with Peter Dinklage even pressuring Disney not to use dwarf actors, it was originally supposed to be 7 diverse magical dwarves. But now seeing the huge backlash to that, their faces are an unfortunate combination
It doesn't matter. Like both of them would have been problematic. Like people would have complained about both of them. It doesn't make a difference. Like this is, people are mad at Peter Dinklage for saying that. I can see why they're mad at him. I can see why he feels that way too. I think it's really just a matter of like making other people adhere to your values.
Animation and hyper-realism, and the result's terrible. It's hard to believe that a studio like Disney with all its resources could have such terrible CGI. This is the same studio responsible for producing Narnia, and yet somehow even Narnia, an almost 20-year-old film with a smaller budget and less advanced technology, has better CGI. It's a real one.
It's really sad, bro. Like I think the best comparison is Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean. How the fuck did that happen? How? And like his whole crew, it was insane.
Expressions to an over-cartoonized person. Knowing the amount of hate the film's already got just from the actresses alone, Disney also seems to have really abandoned the production value. And it's not just the animals and the dwarves that feel artificial. The sets look very obviously green screen, and something about the costumes throws off. They seem almost cheap and plastic, like toys designed for children rather than set pieces for a multi-million-dollar movie. The people are the only...
The problem is that they tried to adhere to the original art too much. And the way that people wear clothes and the way that people act in animation is different than the way that they behave in real life. And I think that this is really what the big weakness is with a lot of these things, is that they bring in a director and a person who's supposed to make this movie into like a real life experience, and that person doesn't really have any inherent vision for it. So they one-for-one it from the comics, and they end up doing that weird, you know, in the middle.
This is a find. A Baal ruin that hasn't been looted? No one from camp has managed to make it to this part of the jungle and survive. If powered with a small soul core, it could open that door. Yes? Look for a red crystal a bit bigger than your fist. It should be warm to the touch. Near the end of civilization, the Vaal tried to combat a worsening labor shortage by sacrificing their own citizens to power constructs. Designed to tilt, as it turns out, human souls don't make for a very sustainable fuel source. And so began their down. Be careful.
Na ovom jebenom popustu ništa zimskom, ja imam sve igre pa nešta ni da gledam. Verovatno je to u kuću.
Ja sam već objasnio, već sve što si tada kupiš imaš.
Steel yourself!
ovaj Steam je počeo da jede govna. Zajebeni item od 0,20 centi mi traži da, vrate, jebate verifikujem.
DNK ti traži.
Da, brate, verifikujem jebenom... Jebenom... O, kurva.
Točno.
Telefonu.
Imaš pogled?
Pa imam, brate, nisu jebate normalni. Znaš?
Znači, tebi je internet security ono joke. Njima nije. Ja mogu da pogledam.
I nije, ti šmekir. Hoćeš sad da izađem da ga izlupam?
Da ga izvojim, komu dao?
Da ga izlumim kao bi dao.
Pazi koliko to hrabrosti ima da tako nešto izjede.
Ne budalac.
Eto, a mogu da pretpostavim da je to Milanje, tako je mi?
Ne,
Bolje da ne znaš ko, jer nisi ni čuo. Što manje znaš o tome, to bolje.
I to što kažeš.
Znaš ono, mrči, čuči i tako to. Ovo je dobar pesma. Da ja skinem Battlefield, jeba. Kako se zove sa DIA Games, nije više Origin. Opet.
Origin ti je... Sa EA Games se sad zove šta?
Origin, više da, ne postoji Origin. To je Origin ili ne bre? Borise! Šta brate koristiš? Origin ili EA, šta je to?
Isto je to.
EA Launcher, to više nije Origin nego EA Launcher.
Da.
Možeš da skineš Origin, ali će ti u nekom trenutku tražiti da ga upgradeuješ na EA Launcher.
Dobro, skida mi je Launcher.
Tako da bolje ti skini odmah i EA. EA-u. No što ćemo činjet?
Šta ćemo činjet? Instalirati ću sad ovaj...
Nećemo huntovat. A?
Čekaj. Možemo i huntom, možemo i Battlefield. Stani da skinemo ovo. Dobro, samo mamka ovo... Molim te, Boris... O, sam prsu. Molim te, Borise, pusti ovaj deo, čekaj da ti pošaljem ovo, čekaj.
Čekaj, Jala, Peder i Babadeda, to?
Da, molim te, ovaj deo, samo pusti snimak i slušaj vers od Bube.
Da li ja to mogu da podnesem?
Baba, ra, doga, daga, da, baba, ra, boga, davala ga, samala,
Gara.
Kora, baba, roga, kapa, lova, laga.
Joj!
Kakav tekst, bre. Šta je Sunval, bre? Šta je Sunval?
Sad se čuješ dobro.
Šta se čujem dobro? Pa ne znam ništa, ja nisam. Sunval, šta je Sunval? Lek. Kako je to lek?
Možda.
Ima prevod, evo.
Ima i prevod. Ovo je moguće. Kako je lova
Yes? Huh?
A? Ajde, no. Da. I ono bolje da. To mi malo 4.
Ovi ludi Obradović u Košuti Dovosku, ceo tim crnaca, tamo neki Sudance, Afrikance i ti toga, Britance. A navijači pevaju Martinu i
Nego ste vidjeli koliko se naši krenuli na svijetu?
Određena grupacija, da, dobili malo puno.
Biće tu...
I need more time.
Ja treba da izađem da ga razbijem ko snima se.
Da ga izlomim ko pitku. Da, taj jada što vrtići što mu veti od ramena, evo, on se izlomi neko.
Kako bi ga izlemao, brate, onako bi ga Znaš kako bi ga izgazio? Da. Budala.
I onda carini neki se govorio se sve radi s mojim kumom, jebote. Nemaš šta da ga vidiš, jebote. Znači, onako ništa, normalno građeno, onako.
Dobro.
Nosi naočare, izgleda ko štreber, jebote, a inače profi bokser. I trkali ga neki ljudi, pošto je moj ludi kum, oni pijandura, panček u kafanama i bili u posla i bio ga ovaj, da moraš da se prezivati.
So this is why the treasure hunters do it.
Da.
I krenuli ovog nešto da jebu, bilja, kolja, bilja, nemam pojma.
My satchel is full.
Znate, kad je lik usto, kad je petoricu poslagao jednim udarcem sve, se profi bokser. Znači, nikad ne znaš ono koliko će da isto uđi.
Usto jeboti me.
Lupo ih ko budale, znači u kafani muk sledeći pola sata, niko konobar ono, kao u nam rekao da to bude, dura pizdica ono, znaš? Isto da bi moj drugar iz Renja, on isto profi bokser, pero laka kategorija, ali 1,65 m, 50, a ne do ti Bog da te udari, a ne do ti.
Da, ti, gledaj, uglavnom ti, vrate, manji su živahni mnogo. Znači, to ti uvijek tako pravilo, vrate, bilo. Manji ljudi su jači ljudi.
Mitar, ko Bruce Lee kad se skine. Znaš, ono, žila i oni mišiće, onako najčepinsani. A nema čovjek 55 kila, nema.
Mitar kida.
Ali, kažem ti, ja ga pitam, ima tu bio Galić neki, Galić 2 metra bosanac, ono, puca od snage, ali nije ono izdvojan, nego ono mesina. Znak, brcina.
Dobro.
Mislim da bi moglo Galića da udario. 150 kila, da. Kaže, kad bi ga udario, digo bi ga pola metra od zemlje. U bradu, kad bi ga apet, kad bi me zajebao. Kaže, druže, ja sam treniran, ja znam da udarim, znam gde treba da udarim. Znači, kunem ti se da bi ga digo pola metra od zemlje. Mislim, mi smo probali, svi smo drugari tamo i kolege napao. Ja ga, on se bi mogu Galića da obrati, ne da bi ga oborio, nego bi ga pola sata biste ga ladili vodom. Profi boks, treniran, znači, znaš što zna ono, na udar. Meni je pričao jedan MMA fighter, kaže, sve stoje, svi borilački sport, ali protiv pravog profi istreniranog boksera niko ne zna. Taj ima takvu snagu u rukama, Drugo, oni rade na onoj izdržljivosti za runde, kaže, nema teorije da im je tiče, ono kad je full u formi i treniran bokser, kaže, nema niko šanse. Kaže, pravi bokser jednom je dovoljno da se udari i gotovo. Jednom.
Samo jednom, a?
Da, kaže, pa to je ceo život vežba i udaranje. Drugo imaju na tim treninzima vežba i
Mantra of Destruction must be charged up by hitting enemies with your staff. Once charged, use it to imbue your next attack with a large amount of extra chaos. Mantra of Destruction must be charged up by hitting enemies with your staff. Once charged, use it to imbue your next attack with a large amount of extra chaos damage. Mantra of Destruction. Hand of Chayula can be used to apply curses and marks onto a target. Socket any curses or marks you want on the skill screen to apply them all at once. Hand of Chayula can be used to apply curses and marks onto a target. Socket any curses or marks you want on the skill screen to apply them all at once. Hand of Chayula can be used.
Like a dragon, infinity belt. Straight. Kad? Vrijeme zajebaš, bro.
Uvijek se pokoju si.
U tebe jebote. Oko 4:20. Nikola Stanković, 27-godišnji ubijen. Iz vozila u pokretu.
Iz vozila u pokretu, lele drive-by.
Mafija.
Mafija.
Mafija te, a?
Inače, Stanković je od ranije poznat u policiji po brojnim krivičnim delima. U žiži javnosti našao 2019. kada je napao i pokušao da kidnapuje bivšeg igrača Crvene zvezde i trenutnog reprezentativce Aleksa Ceta.
Nemam pojma te mafijaški.
Stanković za poželiti. Da ti bude zet.
Da, kako ne pobiti čitaju.
Na Bežaničkoj kosi otac su upucao sina. Baš lep dan. Na Novom Beogradu sve vrvi od policije, ali niko ne govori još što zašto. Znači, 90. dobrodošle nazad.
Da. Moj Beograd, jest. Rekli, ja to bolje i da ne čitam.
Ja sad otvorio da čekam tebe da se reši koju si ti da igraš. Hoćemo hantat malo.
I don't know what you say. What you want to play with me? I'm downloading now Battlefield 4. It's almost done. It's 7-1%.
I want to say, do you want me to go out the car and follow me to Kosti kao pički?
Hoćeš sad da izađem da ti izvojim? Yes, you can. Šta sam htio, nešto sam htio. Šta god ti želiš, šta ti si igrao?
Ajmo malo, par partija. Lova.
Čekaj samo da mi skine, 74% je ovo. Ja mislim da će ovo za koji minut?
Imaš premium?
Šta, Battlefield?
Aha.
Imam. Auto, update, ima onih Battlefield Final Stand, Naval Strike, to sve China, ali mi ništa to nije skinulo, brat. Kakav je ovo igra Battlefield, brate. Majka, brate. Najbolji Battlefield, brate.
Jedno sam ja igru 2 sata.
Ali dobar i 2042, ali zbog skinova i zbog onih moda malo izgleda mi je dobro. A da, kocarski, znači kao da igraš kod. Napravili su Battlefield 2042 kao kod. Znači pa kao. Koliko hiljada frenova je? Hvala, ne. No da, lagana priča.
"74 shipments of soul cores in the span of 3 moons. 74 shipments, and it's 74 shipments of soul cores in the span of 3 moons.
Da li kupujem PlayStation, pičku materiju?
And it still won't be enough. If our fears become
Imaš ti PlayStation beš?
we have put our 74 shipments of
Imaš
soul
beša? Jel je procesno? Bolje, brate, bolje mi kupimo od nekog koga znam. Omori.
Vlado Terminatoru stari, šta ti kažeš?
Kao Vlada. On tu?
Param pam param pam, param pam param pam.
Vlado!
Vlado! Ovdje tvoj jajoper.
Alo, Jagodinac?
Jajoper.
Čovjek je Virginisov kanal sa jajoperom.
Brate, ja to nisam znao šta je dok mi on nije rekao. Majke mi, moj život sad ima smisla. Jajoper, to je, znači to!
Steroid.
Mogu bi da ga kupim, bre, da mažem samo sebi.
Ima jedna tu kod Rene, ovaj kurva, Ana, jer ona ti to olive jaja dok ti puši, jer tako ne treba.
Tako da ne treba.
Voli da liže jaja, to je kod...
Don't you worry, it's gonna be alright.
Uvuče jaja, uvuče bruk.
Kontam. Sad će biti s kućom.
Nego žena mi je naš, moj, njegov.
Trening je gotovo, naruči glavu, uživaj klopi njam njam, ring, uživaj žurci i ding dong. Sam prso.
Žena mi je naš, moj, njegov.
Nemam pojma, zvao me i onda poslije kad sam mu uzvratio poziv, nije mi se javio. Ajde, no, ovaj.
Ne znam, nije ovaj.
A? Karder Valley, da vas kupim to pa da igramo kopa,
Kad odem na godišnji jedino. To mogu da običavam jedino tako. Ne na godišnje, nego sad kad dobijem vreme za praznik.
Oh yeah,
To ti je kao Farmville.
Zato mi se sviđa malo da promenim. Ima i farma, ima i tunel isto, možemo uvrati tunel.
Ja da vodem igru.
Ti imaš već 300 sati, tako nešto, jebe se mu kevu.
Igra se s jednim Rusom. Ti si malo s Nenadom.
Koliko može stoji? Gledaj.
2, 3. Može i 4, ne znam. 2, 3 sigurno.
Pa da ga kupim, kupit ću ga, a?
Mogu sam da ti obećam ono za novu godinu kad budem slobodni dan.
Može. Evo kupujem odmah. A da je meni bolje da kupim nešto zbog tebe, nego zbog sebe da kupim nešto smeće. Idemo, trošimo gebenove pare. Tako da imam stil, jebate mene od stil, koliko se stil nastavlja reda, 10.000 evra. Vidim što ima u point shopu da kupimo. Imam 10.000 poena u point shopu. Pa da kupim. Vodohvat. Aha, na.
Čuo si ćeš da zapeš ono What's in your head, zombie.
Indika. Opa. Backgrounds.
Attackare ground.
Face beach u ovo da Cyberpunk!
Cyberpunch.
Hello. That's a shit. That's a trick. Aha. Dobra. Dobra te.
Ne vjerujem.
Aftershop, znaš ko je aftershop?
I don't know. Somebody tell me. Photoshop, znači ja kad sam ga vidio, to mi se svidjelo.
Ja kad sam ga video, odmah sam ne video.
To give you money. Ta-ta. Backgrounds. Fajn background Trumpa i Putina. To je bilo dobro. A neš. Trump i Putin već.
Whole thing. Yeah, there's no real vision for it. Like, I think the Warcraft movie was another really great example of that.
Background.
The thing is that you normally nail this kind of stuff on stage shows or pantomimes. Well, exactly.
I'm not ready. Split the earth. I'm not ready.
Aj, kulovi, krakulo. A ona samo puca, puca, puca. Ona samo puca, puca, puca. Give me money.
I need money.
To je meno, da kako kaši, meni nekako lakše.
Nije.
Nekako mi lakše, ali...
Onda lakše.
Napravi vrhunski. Kuki.
Osjećam se nekako zdravo kad čujem njega.
Oj, ti pazi ovo.
Fabulous. To se vidi.
Because a stage show, the difference is that a stage show is meant to be extravagant, right? It's meant to be an overplaying of emotions in order for, you know, people to be able to perceive it, right? Who are watching from the back. That's the whole idea. It's theatrical. Exactly.
Mi možemo igrati i tam dok meni ide. Šta me boli kurac, a?
Ma neću ja ništa.
Neću, ja sam sati. A odličan paštuj. Boli me briga, neću njeti. Jeo sam onaj musli i sa malo med. Čedaj, povraćam tamo posle. Ovo je ta njih.
Koga? No. Kuj dat?
Nema vare, još ja sam bio u perku na sudu.
Goni ga u 3 pičke materine.
To je naš drug.
Ima bre.
Odlično.
Demo.
Mašinu sam uključio. Dobro, ono škuro, bila je skoro put. Ivana dolazi do. Pa ja nisam ušao ono kao brdeo na Meksiva. Ali palio sam. A nemaš vode. Pa tamo na ove bidon.
Eno, Akin de Monte.
Za piće na tom. Nema malo. No. Kako hoćeš jedno pa skuće biti?
Kopere kuravte, a soske kandela vakari, ande nana. Yan mudedo de mudedo de mudedo. Yan mudedo, yan mudedo. Yan mudedo de mudedo de mudedo. Yan mudedo. It's gonna be the best for later. Yoga neće dragi ljudi. Evo palim igru. Ajde. Pita. I, jesi li ti muškarac? Ne. Kao ti si neki šmeker.
Ti neki frajer.
And like a movie, you don't have that same type of, you know, like extravagance to it.
Things that don't feel like they were pulled out of a cartoon, and as a result, they just look out of place. The only person who doesn't seem to look out of place in the trailer was the old hag. Now I know it's meant to be a kids movie, and children may not be worried about the smaller details as much, but kids still deserve good content, and so do adults.
Yeah.
And Disney has become so reliant on CGI in the last few years that their projects just seem so lazy.
I don't even agree with this. I think that it's bad CGI that's the problem. I think good CGI has always existed and it was no issue. It's bad CGI that they're relying on.
You have to go that far back to see how much the over-reliance on CGI has changed the complete quality of the studio as a whole. And you know it's just this corporate soulless board at the top of the company, looking to cost cut and make as much profit from the stuff as possible. I mean, you just look at the difference between Lily James's dress in Cinderella and Zegler's in the new trailer. There's absolutely no contest. And the
what was it that I was looking at? Oh my god. Yes. Look at Elendil's armor in, what was it? Not Game of Thrones. In Rings of Power, and compare it to Boromir's armor in Lord of the Rings. It's literally like level 1 peasant.
Da ne bi mogao sa novim lovcem da ga kupiš, jel ti jasno? Kad uzmeš level 1 lovca koji ima 3 trita da ne refundaš sve i uzmeš levering. Hoćeš još malo da ti objasnim?
Šta ćemo, obični ili neobični?
Koliko ti košta Fenix poena?
Obični ili neobični?
Da ne bi mogao sa level 1 lovcem da igraš sa leveringom, eto zašto su ga podigli.
Jesi Ilija, brate, evo.
Gdje si Snake?
Ja sam objasnio.
Dobro, hoćemo običan ili neobičan hunt, šta ćemo?
Samo sekunda, sad ću ti reći.
Odlični, obični. Što tu eta?
Eta, no.
Eta, na.
Eta, ali u beta.
Mari, kupa se. Ili ga Post Malone, vidiš?
Poštar Malone.
Post Malone.
Znate, secka mi meni, a ne igra kad mi jebe mu me. Da.
Secka mu tebi.
Secka meni, secka meni. Malo mu je.
Versus level 109.
Ako secka tebi...
Like, let me see if I can... Is it it's Osgiliath, right?
Moram da kupim Battle Pass da bi dobio Malone.
Look at that. Absolute fucking Giga Chad. It looks so fucking badass. I remember whenever I saw this as a kid, I was like, yeah, that's who I want to be. Right fucking there. And then if you compare this to... I think that's... Elendil, Rings of Power. Images.
Evo, obično, Cirkusa.
Circa?
Cirkusa, da. Nego meni cecka, jel mi ovo instalira preko...
And you know what that reminded me of?
Sad, da li stopiram ovo, pičku materinu. Evo. Ništa.
And so here we are. Budget cuts, yes, exactly. That's a lot of budget cuts, guys. Sam hides from Numenor, I would have never guessed. Sam, wait, can we say Sam Hyde looks better?
Kako se beše zovu oni što plaćaju?
It's real bad.
A pičku ne vide.
And this is what we had. This movie came out. Look how badass that is. By the way, just look at that armor. That is incredible. And then just this shit.
Nedobrojni celibača.
Actual chainmail. Yes, this looks so fucking cool.
The fact that there's barely a 10-year difference between the two films is devastating. Not even the acting can save this abomination in the film, and in some cases it's actually contributing to its fate. While Rachel Zegler is currently one of the most disliked Disney actresses, due to her terrible interviews last year, her role
She's just obnoxious, that's the reason why. And she has this like, it's like some women have this, where it's like this chip on their shoulder where they constantly have to like, you know, assert themselves or like have an issue with something or start some sort of controversy or not controversy, but you know, confrontation. Why? It's just weird. Like that type of that type of person is just unpleasant to be around.
Isn't actually unearned. She can deliver the lines well, and there's no denying that she can sing. However, Gal Gadot's performance as the evil queen leaves much to be desired. The thing about Disney villains is that they're meant to be dramatic, larger than life, and very fun to watch. No matter how evil they might be, you just can't help but enjoy every moment they're on screen. It's because you just know that the actors behind them were probably having the best time. They also have undeniable talent and presence. Even when hidden behind the facade of a cartoon lion, Jeremy Irons commands the room. Be Prepared is one of the most well-loved songs from The Lion King, because he and Jim Cummings put their all into the performance, which is a huge contrast to Gal Gadot, who really doesn't seem to care about this movie anymore, all while secretly hating her co-star and having no real presence for the character of the evil queen.
She's a horrible actress? Oh god.
This character is meant to be regal.
She can't act? Like, I don't know whether she can or not. I mean, I thought she was hot as Wonder Woman, but I never really even thought about, like, is she a good actress? I had no idea. I didn't even think of that.
Someone so obsessed with her own beauty that she's willing to command the death of her own stepdaughter. Someone who loses that beauty because her obsession drives her to sacrifice just so that she can rob someone else of theirs. But there doesn't seem to be any of that obsession
when women turn 30.
in Gadot's version of the Queen. While we could chalk this up to the fact that they've changed some aspects of the story, it's mostly because of Gal Gadot's delivery. She seems more stiff and just irritated that her stepdaughter has opinions, and her obsession with her beauty has become more surface level vanity. Just based on the trailer, we can tell
it's probably because they didn't want to level it about beauty, because they view beauty as being some sort of derivative of seeking male validation. That's probably the reason why they tried to change it. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of assuming. I can't see Shrek. It's so, right?
Like Gal Gadot's evil queen orders Snow White's death, and it will probably have very little intimidation behind it. In less than 2.5 minutes, Disney seems to have destroyed their most prized creation, the original film that started it all for Disney, and it seems like nobody on the set even cares about the film, with most of the actors seemingly
She admitted that she didn't like it growing up, and she said she only watched it once before getting the role. Is so sad to me. It's like, I mean, you just compare that to, like, if I think about any, like, Peter Jackson, you know, like, what's his name? Christopher Lee, the guy who played Saruman, actually knew Tolkien himself, and he reads the books every year. He read the books every year. Like, look at Henry Cavill, Ian McKellen. Yeah, Sir Ian McKellen, exactly. Like, I think that we have... Can we at a certain point just acknowledge that having people who don't like the source material, I think it makes them bad at adapting the source material? Like, I don't know, I feel like that just seems like it's kind of true, right? But why, and also here's another less popular example. Carl Urban with Judge Dredd. absolute respect for the source material. There you go, peak 100%. Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool? Yeah, Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool is a perfect example. Like, perfect.
Original characters.
You said you were bringing modern edge to it. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937. And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be. This fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves.
So the problem, I think, with the way that she says that is that it seems like it's reactionary. Like, it's not like we want to write this story for the reason of we think this is going to be inspiring and it's going to make people feel like they can do more than what they are. But it's just reactionary from, well, this is the way it used to be, so we have to make it different now. It's condescending. Yeah, it's weird, right? That's it. It's like a Twitter post. Yeah, exactly. It's arrogant and envious. Yep.
And the production crew constantly changing what's actually going to happen in the movie. Since being cast, Rachel Zegler has been one of the studio's biggest problems. She's been at the center of numerous controversies and gone out of her way to make enemies with people with much more power than her, and even her own co-star. But unfortunately for Disney, her latest scandal wasn't a spat with a more popular celebrity, or even the characters like she did previously. This time, she decided she would take on more than half of her country. Now,
oh boy!
Dolzim, welcome to my channel.
Big mistake. Yeah, there we go.
Now, whether you're left or right wing, it doesn't really matter. It's all about virtue signaling.
I don't think that anybody really cares. Like, there are plenty of actors that don't like Donald Trump and think he's a piece of shit. And nobody hates the actors because of that, because there are people who just have political opinions that are different than those. And that's just the way it is. Sure. I mean, that's life. But I think that it's not that one thing. It's like with everything put together. Almost half or more? I mean, I don't know. I'm saying a lot. A lot of them, that's the case. Most people don't care. Yeah.
Right when Trump won the election recently, Zegler was not happy, but not for any normal reasons. Showing that she needed to prove to the world that she was on the right side of history, she took to her Instagram and wrote a strongly worded story about how disappointed and heartbroken she was over the country's decision, calling Trump a threat to democracy and finishing off her post with a wish that Trump and his supporters would never know peace. No matter.
It's like, I think that it's very odd that somebody who's a celebrity would say that, because, like, I mean, even streamers, and so, like, I can imagine for celebrities, it's like 100x worse. Like, get stalkers and, like, weirdos and people following them and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's just nuts. And it's also, like, and it wasn't even enough for somebody to say that, like, they hate Trump. But it's like, now I also hate all of the people that voted for him, too, right? Like, and I think that's what really kind of takes it over the line and makes it different. Where it's like, usually people can criticize, you know, the candidate, and that's fine. I think that's okay. But if you criticize everybody that voted for him, well, I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? But there's a lot of people that voted for him, and you're, you know, alienating a lot of people.
No matter which side of the political aisle you're on, this is a pretty strong statement for a mainstream actor. Not really the sort of thing you want from a woman playing a Disney princess, as more than half the country were understandably angered by Zegler's.
And also, like, can I just show that, like, why is it that
political aisle you're on, this is a pretty strong.
Like, she.
Ako nisi umro, mamu ti.
Vidim ga tu proviruje iza zida, evo ga opet. Neko je zginuo.
Fuck! Kako drapno je to.
Kako si ostao živ? Ma marš jebote, čist headshot.
Isti tebe, a?
A, ma tamo gde sam ti pingovo kod zida, skroz levo.
What if I told you 15 years ago the same studio that made Hellsing Ultimate, One Punch Man, and the infamous Death Note cooked up one of the most visually stunning, beautifully written, action-packed animes today? Yeah, everything you're seeing.
Šta će ti bilo?
Bio.
Tebe, a?
A, ma tamo gdje sam ti pingovo kod zida, skroz levo. Još levo, skroz na ivici zida.
Ko je išao tež?
Ne vidim, kako da ne vidim.
Idi na krov, Peć. Tamo od stanice.
Kako znaš, ne streamujem. Bari se.
Gledam, Boris.
Tamo su ljudi, konkure su ljudi.
Imaš desni compound.
Ko je išao tež?
Naš, Peć.
Ne, a dobra re.
Idi na krov, Peć.
Stani bre, s
Tamo
nekim igrama.
od stanice. Okej. Gledam, Boris. Have fun.
This seems like something Elva would know about.
This is the largest soul core I've ever seen.
Titan.
With this, we could power the mechanism in the waterways.
Bravo.
But it isn't charged.
Pade, skeneri.
There is still latent energy
Jedan
residing
levo od
here.
mene ovdje.
From what I can gather, these lines in the stonework should lead to generators. You might need to find some more big constructs have been maintaining all this. In any case, let's hope it still functions. We'll then have to remove that large soul core from the wall, of course. Good luck.
Tačno ispred mene je. Ne znam kako bi ti opisao.
Ništa da mi ne piše. Uši kurac jer mi ti imamo. Idi kljus.
Jedan ovdje, 100 metara je. Dva, poređeno metara.
I'm not ready. Čekaj. Samo da vidi.
Još jedan.
Neko pored mene.
Ovdje su dvojica, pazi. Da, jedan je desno od tebe u stanici.
Kako me vidi, majko?
I need more time.
Ubio me s leđa. Leđa me rokno! Jebem ga u... That's it. Idem na 10 minuta samo da obavim nešto i tu sam brzo. Čuješ, Boris?
Što si trčao s te livade prema njemu, Boris?
Šta? Ne mogu, ja sam već ovo. No, kad bude trojate.
Estrela, evo, tu su malo, jutarnji game.
I'm not sure what I expected.
Nenade, što se smiješ?
Stavio sam ti.
Ursa mortis. Viš kako je onaj naziv taj, Ursa mortis. Deluje tako vrsnik.
Mislim da Mursa dođe medved.
Pa to je onaj đavo u cirkusu, oni Mitrixi su.
Yes, some odds. I'll take it. Take care.
This seems like something Elva would know about.
I'm not ready. Tower.
Looks so fucking hot here. Why is it that the scenes that she looks the worst are the scenes in the movie? Shouldn't it be the fucking opposite? Really? I mean, what are we doing here? Like, who's doing costuming? Who's deciding this?
Statement for a mainstream actor. Not really the sort of thing you want from a woman playing a Disney princess.
See what I'm saying?
As more than half the country were understandably angered by Zegler's words and started calling for her to be fired. Which isn't the first time that people have called for this. After this, people suspected that Disney sent her a very stern email, as Zegler quickly returned to Instagram to deliver a half-hearted apology. She explained that she let her emotions get the best of her and was committed to contributing positively towards a better tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely she got in trouble for it. Absolutely. Well, I mean, like, really, I don't think it's really bad if somebody wants to express their political views, but when you're doing it in a way that's like alienating people and like saying like you hope they'll never know peace, like that's a bit much, right? It is. What did she expect? And I think also the issue is that with a lot of people, I don't think people take it seriously. That's the issue.
Apology is very carefully worded, as if Disney had told her exactly what to say. However, no one else was buying it. Zegler had shown her true colors once again.
And I think that's also the issue right there. It's this. It's the Gina Carano, right? I mean, she got canceled for way less. And she didn't get canceled, she got fired. And I think that's what really happens. Is that like when somebody has an opinion that goes outside of like bounds of like what the, you know, the Hollywood Overton window is, which is a very small window, by the way. And when you go outside of that little square, then guess what happens? Well, now you get fired. And I think that people can clearly see the double standard there. Yeah, it's the, double standard again. Yeah, people are not mad that it happened. They're mad that it happened to one person and not another person. Don't just apologize, take up action and make up for it somehow. Yeah, I mean, if you... Well, my viewpoint is, like, if you want to apologize, that's fine, but, like, the best apology is changed behavior. Right? I mean, so, you can say like, yeah, it's my bad, but like people aren't going to believe that unless you're going to act different.
And after many forced apologies, nobody was buying it anymore. But it wasn't just hurting Snow White's chances of success, it was also poking holes in Disney's paper-thin arguments over its integrity, as there's been far too many scandals to count with Disney in recent years. And we've actually made several videos in the past discussing just this alone. And Disney, seeing the backlash they've got to all their virtue signaling stuff, are now trying to reel it in. But it seems like they're losing control of all of this, which is why many suspect that Disney is once again bracing itself for a rough start to 2025.
I think that the problem is that a lot of the people that are making shows try to add in a bunch of contemporary social messaging that doesn't resonate with average audiences, and kids don't understand and they think it's weird. So like, it's confusing for like an 8-year-old to understand like any sort of like LGBT stuff or something like that in like a show. They can't understand like a trans thing, right? Because they don't even understand gender entirely themselves. And so when you put that into a story and then you try to put that out for kids, it's going to be confusing to kids, right? They're not going to understand it. You let kids be kids. Well, I'm saying like just from a functional perspective, it's hard for people to understand complex sexual you know, like nuances whenever they're very young, right? And that's why you don't teach kids about that stuff when they're that young. And so I think the issue is that like back in the day, you always had stories that had social messaging, but the social messaging was much more broad. It was like, you know, anybody from like, you know, Beauty and the Beast is like, I mean, to be fair, it's like, I mean, she was, you know, that guy was rich as fuck. But like the idea is that like beauty isn't just, you know, at face value. And it's like what you have inside, like the kind of person you are. And Gaston, yeah, Gaston is like this really good looking guy, but he's a huge asshole. And so he's the bad guy. And so it has these types of messaging that are more, they're more universal and they're more timeless than making a statement on the current political, social event that's happening in the last like 5 years. Do you kind of see like what the comparison is there? About like, you know, the messaging and the social messaging in something like Lord of the Rings or like the original, you know, Beauty and the Beast, like this will be relevant in 100 years. The messaging and a lot of this kind of stuff won't be relevant in 5 years. Hunchback of Notre Dame, yeah, Mulan, exactly, right? There's a degree of timeless values that I think Disney movies really did a great job at expressing, and like Lion King did that. Like, I mean, because in a way, like kids, it's really important that you have movies like this, and that way kids don't grow up and their idols are like these weird podcasters or like kids that make a career out of harassing people at Walmart. Like that's the whole reason why you have these positive role models with kids. And if you try to inject that with like your own types of like values and you try to like pervert that, I think that like even kids can perceive inauthenticity. Yeah, they can see it immediately, and they're gonna think that it's weird.
This comes after many years of disaster, as money has just been going down the drain for the company recently. Now, of course, Disney is notorious for having big budgets for its films.
Yeah.
It dedicates thousands of hours and millions of dollars to projects that people love. However, it seems like as the cost of projects has gone up, the quality has also taken a nosedive, as we can quite clearly see with Snow White. According to Forbes, production costs have jumped up to $269.4 million.
Jesus.
That was just because of reshoots after the backlash over Disney's replacement for the dwarves and other elements of the movie.
Oh my God.
This time the studio can only blame itself. Well,
I do think that having this band of people would probably be better than having the CGI dwarves. But if they had that, then everybody would be complaining that it's multi-racial. So like, I don't think that like this would have been a solution and it would have solved every problem. It would have just been a different set of drama.
Disney was forced to admit that it overspent the budget, refused to admit defeat.
Well, you can win. I mean, if you win, the winning is respecting the source material and then casting people that represent the characters that were in the source material. So, like, if you're doing... The reason why I think a lot of people have problems with race swapping is because it only happens in one way. I feel like there are very rarely cases where, like, a person who has a black person or, like, a non-white person, really, has a role that gets replaced by a white person. It basically never happens, right? And so, because it happens in one direction, people view it as inauthentic.
$5 million reimbursement from the UK government gave the studio a bit of leeway, but the cost of the film was still insane. And the crazy thing is that these aren't even the final numbers. And yet by looking at the trailers and the reception to it online, it seems like this movie is going to be yet another giant train wreck for the studio. For almost 2 years now, Disney has spent so much money on reshoots, post-production and marketing just for this movie. So it's safe to assume that by the time Snow White makes it onto the big screen, its total cost will be well over $300 million. Because of the drama surrounding the upcoming movie, most doubted.
I mean, like, is there any way they're going to make that money back? That's like a no-shot situation, right?
Even much less profit. To put into perspective, The Little Mermaid suffered a $5 million loss, and this was despite having a lead actress that was Meanwhile,
I think that's pretty good. Only losing $5 million.
Zegler appears to be one of the main reasons people were sworn off watching Snow White. Not to mention the huge list of all the other movies. With this in context, it's easy to understand why they avoided releasing the official trailer and posting it so long. Arguably, the best thing Disney can do now is accidentally lose all the footage from the project.
Svi ste pljuvali Malona, ali evo, Malon vas je vratio u jediniju.
Yeah, that's actually smart. That's the best way they can recoup their costs. Yeah, just burn down the place that has the footage in it and be like, yeah, guys, I don't know what happened, so I guess we're going to have to write this off. Yeah, don't forget they get money from toys. Keeping the IP means they keep the coins and recoup the costs. I don't know, man. I feel like something like this does massive brand damage, too. And that's one of the big components that a lot of people don't really think of, is that the brand damage that these types of products create is really, really bad for these companies. Because when a company has something come out that like makes them look really bad, what ends up happening is that now everybody is distrustful of this company. They're not a fan of it. They don't like agree with them. They're like, okay, well, the next thing that comes out is going to be bad. I think the best example is Intergalactic, right? The new movie.
Ja sam svoj dobio, kažem ti preko onog.
I think
Čekaj, si ga platio nešto?
The Last of Us 2 come out and Neil Druckmann never made that, people would be much more positive about Intergalactic. So like, and this is the issue, is that a lot of people don't understand the ripple effect that, you know, having bad products like that creates.
Daj se trudim, čekam da mi padne bre, da dobijem 4. sokir bre na skillovima. Čekaj bre, prvi deo imamo one hideoutove, jel?
Imaš i ove hideoutove?
Znači samo kao neki late game izgleda.
Late game je ogroman ovdje.
Da, nego ono kao čunim kao da tamo se relativno brzo otvori hideout, ovdje i dalje ga nemam. Bile treba 2 puta da se pređe igra na obje težine da bi dobio hideout.
Nemaš preći igra, ovo imaš samo 3 akta od 6.
O dobro, imaš 3 pa ideš opet 3, samo kao veće težine.
Čekaj, imaš 3 akta.
Tako. Uglavnom.
Ako govoriš o prelaženju Early Access verzije igre, da.
No.
Da. Imaš onaj, u trećem aktu, onaj Jiquani Sanctum, ali ti si već obrnuo igru na sljedeći aktu.
Jesam. Htio sam te pitam, brate, ali ti padaju oni dragulji za pasive?
Koji?
Pa neki, ono, ja koliko sam stekao utisak da je to nešto
koji dragulji? Key itemi koji daju pasiv poene, šta? Jel to? Ono kao quest reward?
Znaš li kao socket dragulji? Što možda ih staviš u pasiv 3?
Joule. Pričaš o Joule.
Da.
Znači, rekao si mi do sad sa 3 stvari, jedva sam shvatio što hoćeš da kažeš. Joule. Dragulj.
Dragulj, brate.
Ali, kao što rekao, pričaš o Joule.
Pa da.
Joule padne svakih 10 sati jedno. I to ako vratim pažnju.
Ma ja ih kad skupljam ono sve, ali ne znam šta sam ih uzeo, da li 3 komada. Doduše jedan je dobar, kao 15% kritikala ono.
Jedan
na taj sam posebno zadovoljan.
Na ailment, ako se dobro sećam. 13% increase skill effect, 8% increase chance to inflict ailments.
To je dobro.
Slažem se.
Inače, postoji i trade ovdje u igri, ne znam da si to provalio.
Znam da postoji.
Nisam se uprobao, njemu nešto mi darovalo, ono.
Šta tačno ti dalo?
Ne znam, ono kao trebaš da ga isprobaš, a drugo ono, ne znam, ni vrednosti stvari. Otprilike sve što bi menjao bi, ne znam, ono, za Exalted Orbovi ili nešto jače.
Pa uglavnom ti je Exalted Orb currency. To se cvati.
Drakula imali te?
7. To je 10. Increase recovery rate, reduce charge per use.
Ako bude tako je.
Nema u pizdu materinu.
Senjor Nešo.
Senjor Nešo.
How can I advise you? I have a different plan.
Zašto bi to radio? Zašto bi to radio, mislim?
Sine Mione, kako si ti opamenuo? Šta ti? 740 kvadrata na ćošku, dole blizu sestre, dolje sa advokatima i pravnicima.
Apsolutno sve.
A moraš i sjesti, znaš? Dobro.
Ilija, našao sam neke stvari pa sam ih odvojio, ti treba nešto s armorom?
Milioni nešto
Jel mi treba nešto sa?
Nije neki chest piece-ove s armorom, rekao, ne znam da li ti to treba. Mislim da neki trebaju možda da se ono roluju, ali
ja
mislim da je armor vrednost.
330 armor.
Nema da časti cena ovdje sa nove mašine.
Koliko
Kad
dobiješ, znači sve novu mašinu, nešto već.
Ako je neznatno, ne znači mi puno.
Pogledaj ko će ti reći, ono nešto sam to odvajao, rekao ne znam da će tebi koristiti, nisam to da ih bacim odmah.
Tako da ne znam.
Možda ti jedan da ostavi za nas da idemo u dogovor na smenu, da idemo na smenu, ali za džabe naravno.
If you hear a click, duck.
A što ga prociraš, znaš da je postaje ovaj...
Postaje?
Ne spavamo jedni na drugima, kako?
Keep your eyes sharp.
Gdje može stanemo, evo tebe, mi smo na puno štetu.
Smo linčanin, brate, on je naviko na veliko.
Šta da pušimo kulčo jedni drugima, ajde, evo.
Stop gay. Ne znam, ne bi ja išao tako daleko.
Neka, ne bi to.
This seems like something Elva wouldn't know about.
Zašto?
Mi smo majstori.
Nešto mnogo si homofobičan, ja stvarno ne znam šta bi ti rekao.
Today, we're pulling off the heist of the century by beating Elden Ring and its DLC fast enough to get a full refund on our purchase.
On smo linčani naviko na velik prostor.
Steam has a very generous refund policy where they'll allow you to automatically refund any game you play for less than 2 hours for any reason. Now, obviously, this is intended to be used for people to be able to try a game out, and if they don't like it, or it doesn't run well on their PC, or they have any other completely valid reason to want to refund something, then no worries. Steam's got your back. But it would be pretty funny if someone went and bought a giant 100-hour RPG like Elden Ring, along with its massive expansion, Shadow of the Erdtree, and then simply refunded it because they beat it too fast.
Prišao sam stanovo od prodaja placa, ja sumnjam da
I'm gonna
možeš.
make a brand new Steam account, buy Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree Edition for $79.99, and then from the moment I press play, I will have 2 real-time hours to roll the credits after beating both Elden Beast and Consort Radahn. And if I don't, then I'm out $80. No takebacks.
Rekao, ti si zaštićen ugovorom, ti si zaštićen ugovorom za to.
Because while I may be scamming Steam, I still have morals. Now, before we begin this operation, I have 2 things to say. Firstly, obviously, I don't actually condone scamming Steam and game developers by refunding their games for illegitimate reasons. Okay, it's just a gag. I've already bought Elden Ring and the DLC without refunding it. So yeah, just leave this one to the professionals, guys, alright? Don't get any cute ideas. And secondly, if you did want to play a game for free, then you'll be in luck next year when today's sponsor, Path of Exile 2, fully releases. Or, if you're like me and want to play it right now, you can join the early access today for $29.99. Which, if you've ever looked at the ridiculously huge passive skill tree in the game that features 1,500 different skills that allow you to completely customize your gameplay experience, including dual specializations that dynamically change their allocations based on your currently active weapons set, that's like less than 2 cents per node, so really not a bad deal at all. I actually had the pleasure of playing this game on stream the other week where I, as a relative noob to the genre, boldly decided to full send with a hardcore solo self-bound monk character, which actually went surprisingly well. It was really fun until I got one shot by this guy. And so for everyone that hasn't already played the game, I challenge all of you to go buy it using the link in the description. Pick your favorite out of these 6 early access character classes and see how far you can get on a totally blind, hardcore SSF run. And then when you inevitably die, go play online
Pa ne, mislim, ako ti ne radi, ono, razumeš, ako rekao sam ako ne znam da li će ti ovako nešto, pošto onako nije loš.
Thanks again to Grinding Gear Games for the sponsorship, and while you're waiting on PoE2 to download, let's go scam FromSoft. I've been training, seeing if it's even remotely
possible. Koliko vidim ima samo 300 statistike, ovo ima 6.
Da, ali ja mogu da stavim Exalted Orban, ako hoćeš.
Opet, koliko je dan napad moram?
Dobro, nego ne što rekao ono kao imam ga pa, rekao da ti ga pomoći.
Ovo šta je 120 centimetra nas.
100 € dan.
Nisam htio da ga bacim, rekao ono.
Ne moraš da ga baciš, što?
Pa ne, ono...
Stvarno ti imaš toliko malo mjesto inventaru, šta?
Ne, nego ovako, rekao što bi ga držao inventaru ako neko može ono da učini razliku, da neko pomogne.
Pa može, ali stvarno imam, da ne imam...
Pa to kažem, bolje da pitam prvo. Jer znam da Tomo i Kesić ono igraju jebige te laganije klase.
Papercloth klase.
Dosadno mi ljudi.
Šta da ti nalazim? Razumno.
A šta je planirano vrijeme gradnje? Planirano vrijeme gradnje, kada bi to trebalo počne bude gotovo? To dobro, to što je to ono, nije uopšte loš period na toliko kvadraturu.
Feel my wrath!
Civilizacija svetlosti. Kako ti se zove film? Lako izgledanje. To je bio Marković u kotu planine, najde velike poslovno nogu.
This should fit in the generator.
Pa će nešto to da...
Ja ćemo kako stoje.
Pa dobro uskićene i ti si sada tu. Neš ako kaže da to može, onda to mora.
Is it supposed to spark like
On je
that?
deo ovog. Ostalo je 2018.
Face me!
Od cigareta.
Ja, to.
Jedan što je bio brisanje
Potajni gej.
23.10.2024.
Ne toliko potajni.
Dobro. Ja ne, ovo je Čolaković. Ja ne. Čolaković.
Damage against ignited enemies.
Ima Belakovića, ali lako.
Možda sam investitor, upravo to. Zato kažem, inako investitor, to je druga stvar.
Kad discount lako? Moj... Kako bi rekao? Kapiram kako...
A jebi ga ako su dobro imena već bilo zauzete, šta čovjek može?
To je samo loše, ne?
Nema veze, ti možeš ime da staviš kod...
Nisam
Pa ne možeš ako je zauzete.
Možeš staviš pičke i kako je to.
Vaginalni gonič, na primjer.
Ne postoji ništa što može to ograniči. Ti možeš staviš bilo koje ime, ali ti nemaš isto kao ta druga... Kao ta druga firma to. Ti isto što i za nas. Osnovane sa 1 euro.
Sam se pravi.
Da, fantomska firma, naravno.
Samo da vidimo.
Sve legalno.
Ajoj, gdje je ovaj vatreni lik?
Znači imamo finansijski izgled. Duš, on je nespecializirana trgovina na...
Naftnim derivatima.
Hard discount Laković. Ne kapiram kako to može.
Back to the central chamber.
Izgleda da ima i u sebi.
Ima.
Znači vidimo. Pa on je uglavnom to, ne znam ja...
Znači investitor, znate, kupuje objekte i to je to.
Znači da možda nađemo... Stvarno sam držao onog arhitekta, stvarno sam 12.
Evo, to je bilo lakše nego što je trebalo.
Geodetski je na bolje...
Sad sam ubio opet znaš onog vatrenog bossa u rudniku.
Kom rudniku? Akt 1, 2, 3.
Dvojka.
Prva zona.
O da, ono što će pržiti.
Govorio onaj.
Pa da. Spanuo sam ga jedno 3 puta.
Nije plano stane ništa.
Što je ne?
Govorio je jednostavno napravim drugačije, znaš.
Ja sam otišao baš ono kao visok stan build-up, možda sam čuti pretaru stroj, ne znam da sam pretaran.
Nemaš pretarano. Imaš foru. Svaki put kad urediš stan da urediš aftershock damage. Apsolutno ne postoji previše stan build-up. To ti free damage, imaš 40% da je više DPS-a kad ga staneš.
Yes!
To imaš da uzmeš na... Kod Warrior ima na onaj... Klas pasiv imaš na Browns.
Nekolina, ovaj ode pa se ne javi. Nekolina.
Neko je sinoć otišao pod sok i nije se nikad vratio.
A u klas pasivima mislim sam uzeo dosta tih, baš sam dosta uzeo tih stan build-upova. Samo nisam siguran, šta je stan threshold?
Za tebe.
Ti si mamac.
Imaš stan threshold za tebe, koliko ti treba da te otresu.
Znači to je za mene, pa to je meni palo na pamet, onda rekao, brate, nikad nisam bio stanovan. Nešto sam to isto tamo kliknuo misleći da će to, nisam bio siguran.
Otkrij sudbinu, imate pitanje o ljubavi, karijeri ili životu.
I šta kažeš pođem?
Ili je to jedino na što mi pada na pamet, znaš ono kada da ti prekinu napad.
Vreme, mesto, rođenje i pitanje.
Kao možda je to.
Ne, možeš da budeš stanovan. Misliš taj interrupt? Možda.
Pa da, ono kada za to da mi ono...
Je li treba da pozovemo?
A ne mogu da zamenim runu, jebote kako je to.
Akcija do kraja. Ćemo brzo
Nisam ga dogurao.
Morden of Thor.
Murder of Thor. Murder was the case of the game. Murder!
Nešto gledam ovog bossa, rekao nešto mi je nepoznat, ne sjećam da se... A kad sam vidio ovaj napad sa trouglom, rekao da, sećam se.
Pa gdje si kecmane bre?
Gdje si Dracula bre, pa tu sam. Nije mi bilo jučer da duša.
Moram ja tebi da ti javim, sad,
Sad si javio kad sam stigao. Ti si nešto tih danas, nešto si utihnuo.
Brate, mikrofon mi slabo radi jedno.
Aaa!
Pojačaj me na 200 stavi.
Ja sam ga stavio na 200, još sam i u Discordu pojačao. Da bi ga čuo.
Ali jučer sam čuo dobro, ja mislim.
Ali onda mi Milan upropasti uši, jebi ga, znaš.
Mene samo 200.
I've nowhere to keep that.
Ništa, moram onaj mikrofon iz studija.
Tu je bosište.
Koliko ovo dugo nisam čuo, tu je bosište.
Bosište, tu je boss arena, realno.
Bosište, recite vašem bossu. Da se reklamiram
Ću da mu počupam kosu.
Vašem bossu.
I onaj zagrženi glas, brate, smeh od cigara, brate, i ne znam, loše brlje.
Ko to?
Loše brlja.
Loše brlje, neki brlje.
Alkohol.
Belac.
Ovdje se, postoji dobra brlja, postoji loša brlja.
Ja bi tačno izbačio to ikakve upozorenje, da moraš da čuješ kad dolaze ljude, ne da osjećaš psihički da je neko tu.
Imaš onaj zvuk?
Ne, nemaš.
Sorry?
Ne, nemaš.
Igra
je stara 6 godina, a ne pričam ti o Perfexelu.
O to, u igri pričam, mislim o Discordu pričaš, ono kada se neko pojavljuje i to.
Ne, to ne.
A ne, dobro, kažem, znam da Discordu da imaš, da možda namestiš sam zvukovi koliko će jaki da budu i to.
Ne to.
Martellus.
To je isključeno.
Welcome to my channel.
Welcome to my channel.
Jebote, pčele! Napale me pčela.
Odakle ti pčela? Usred zime.
Bravo, Borise. To je to, ubili smo ga, sad ga palimo.
Imaš ovdje municije.
Munition?
Vrate, nekromanger.
Nekromanger,
Lepo je razlačio.
Je da, vidio, strepovo nam vrata dobro ide.
Pa to kažem, ostaviš blica.
Ajde ovo bure da sredimo. Ajde sredimo bure ovo je.
Dobro, kad mogu bure da udariš, da se raspe bar toliko, umjesto da pucaš njega.
Borisa, pucamo u bure, iza tebe bure. Tako. Čekaj da ja upalim stream jebate, što meni nije upaljen stream.
Ne znam.
Ja nisam bio tu, ali sad sam tu, sad sam all day ovdje. Palim stream, čuvaj me Borise.
Kao što sam rekao, Balkan vs Reddit. To sam gledao.
Ja, vidio sam.
To sam ranije gledao.
Da je to neko...
Nego
ne znam šta je to.
Mislim, living...
Nema šećera. Ko njegovog lajka na tvom storiju?
People cope with hardships in many ways. Some people
evaluate your life. Just right there. Just stop. Just stop. Like you've crossed over. Just stop it. You will lose her. They just need to stop. Yeah, exactly. It's in a joking way. Yeah, people just joking around. They're just trying to have fun. But well, this is the problem with people on like places like Reddit, is like a lot of them are like you know, I wouldn't really say autistic. I hate to use autistic because I feel like
Confirm. Go live.
off to work. Take care.
Evo me Snake, upalio sam stream.
T.Y. Mertelus.
Sad ćemo vidjeti šta